Good evening, everyone. Welcoming you all to the webinar. As the participants are still joining, we'll wait for a couple of minutes. Let's start the session. Good evening, everyone. Welcoming you all to this webinar of MBA in Global Supply Chain Management, which is exclusively for working professionals. I really hope by the end of the session, you will have some great insight about the course. And we'll also have a Q&A session at the end of the PPT, where we'll take up your questions and we'll clear the doubts regarding the same, requesting the participants to post the question in Q&A section and not in the chat. So, a brief about myself. My name is Mallika, current student of GSCM batch. I come with 3+ years of experience in IT domain, and later I joined the Global Supply Chain Management course. Now, let me introduce you to the panel. First of all, we have Professor Rajesh Agrawal. He is the chairperson of 1 Year MBA. Next, we have Professor Chandrasekhar. He is the head of Center of Supply Chain in IIM Udaipur.
Good evening, all.
And next we have Tannu Bhatt ma'am from Admission Office. So now I would like to hand the stage to Professor Rajesh Agrawal.
Thank you very much, Mallika, and a very warm welcome to all the participants of the webinar this evening. We are very glad that you could join and hope we brief you well about the program and able to answer all the questions that you have at the end of the presentation. So next slide, please, Mallika. So we believe that MBA in Global Supply Chain Management from IIM Udaipur is a unique MBA program. What makes it unique among any other offering that you could have from within the country is that it's a program offered by a leading academic institution. I will talk about it in a while. And this program is heavily industry-oriented program, both in its design as well as in its delivery. Next slide, please. So this MBA program in Global Supply Chain Management is a 12-month-long program for professionals who have at least 3 years of experience. The first batch of this program started way back in 2013, and we have already finished 10 batches of this program. And the currently 11th batch is in progress. GSCM program has over 200 alumni over the years. In fact, in the early batches, we had fewer candidates. And as the program has matured, we have a greater intake. Currently now we plan to have around 50 to 60 students in the coming batch. Next slide, please. So very important thing for any prospective candidate is to know about the credentials of the institution where you propose to apply. So I'm very happy to say that IIM Udaipur has very impressive and compelling international credentials. The first one of that is the fact that we are ranked among the top 100 in the world by the very prestigious UK daily called Financial Times. So we are ranked in the top 100 in their Global Masters in Management program. Not only that, but we have been ranked there, and we are there for 5 consecutive years in the top 100, right? And there are only 3 business schools in the country who are there in the FT top 100 ranking in MIM program for 5 consecutive years. Likewise, we are ranked by QS World University ranking, and we are also present there for the 3rd consecutive year. And the other thing that I would like you to know is the fact that we are the youngest institution in the world, youngest in the sense that in a span of just 7 years of our existence, we were accredited by the Association to Advance Collegiate School of Business, what is called AACSB accreditation, and we got that as early as 2018. For information, only 5% of the business schools in the world have this accreditation. And that's what makes it special. So not every business school that offers management education has the AACSB accreditation. Why I'm talking to you about the rankings and the credentials of accreditation, because it speaks about quality. It speaks about excellence. It talks about the fact that whatever we do with the bias of delivering high quality and excellence, right? And that's why all these credentials. Next slide, please. Well, let me briefly talk about the program structure. This program is an MBA program. Once you finish this program, you get an MBA degree from IIM Udaipur. It's a 1 year full-time on-campus residential program, right? So those of you who are working, and if you join this program, you shall have to resign from your job and you will have to pursue this program. To be able to apply in this program, you need three things. First, a degree in graduation degree, right? Second is at least 3 years of full-time work experience after your graduation. So any experience before graduation will not count. And the third is you have to have a score from GMAT, GRE, or CAT, right? As far as GMAT and GRE scores are concerned, it has to be not more than 5 year old, right? As you are aware. And as far as CAT is concerned, the CAT score has to be from an exam that you must have taken in the year 2020 or subsequently. So 21, 22, 23, all those scores are fine, but not prior to 2020. So this is what is required to be able to apply. One common question that students have is that, what is the cutoff that you have to have in GMAT, GRE, or CAT to be able to apply? And I would like to say this. We do not have a specific cutoff in mind. In fact, when we evaluate the application of the candidates, we evaluate them in the overall sense. We look at the profile of the candidate. We look at your academic credentials, your performance in the interview, your scores in the exam, your quality of work experience. So everything put together, the admission committee makes a final decision. So we do not have a specific cutoff in mind. And in case you are interested about this program, the best way to find out is to just go ahead and apply. All right. Next slide, please. Now, let me briefly tell you about the program. What makes this program unique is in a span of 1 year, you have to it's a rigorous program. So you have to learn in the first term the whole host of management core subjects, right? Accounting, finance, economics, operations management, strategy, marketing, you name it. All the management fundamental courses you have to learn, right? And second term, you have to learn about the courses which are specific to the domain of supply chain management. So your global supply chain management, logistics, and procurement. So all those courses which are supply chain specific, and you'll also see courses which are digital in nature are also there, because such as digital supply chain management, or for that matter, artificial intelligence. You can't be thinking of becoming a successful manager in the decades to come unless you are aware about, over and above your supply chain knowledge, some exposure to the digital domain. And that's why you see some courses in the field of digital as well. Now, what makes it very, very unique, this program, is the opportunity to dirty your hands by attempting to solve real life problems faced by companies. What we call experiential learning. Here you get to work in a live industry project. These projects, we collaborate with several industry partners, and then those companies give us the projects on which the students work in a group of 2 to 3 students. There is a guide from the industry, there is a guide from within IIM Udaipur, and there is a group of students of 2 to 3 who work on it towards the second and the third term of the course. What this does is it boosts your confidence in terms of your ability to be able to go and join the industry and solve the problems of the industry right from day one, right? So it prepares you very well to be able to take the challenges of the real life. In fact, when you see the courses here on the left side of the screen, mostly the management courses, these are largely taught by the faculty from IIM Udaipur. Whereas the courses in supply chain domain are taught both by IIM Udaipur faculty, but also from the faculty who come from the industry, right? These people bring the real life experiences of their work in the industry to the classroom, and that's how we are able to bring the real life to the classroom. Likewise, your opportunity to understand the real life through the live industry project. In the third term, you also get an opportunity to choose from a variety of elective courses that are offered to the student. So this is the broad design of the program, but happy to answer any questions that you may have towards the end of the presentation. Next slide, please. So the institute decided that that we should set up a center for global supply chain management. The reason being, we believe supply chain management is a very strong and an emerging field in Indian economy and globally. And we must have a center where top industry experts come and give us advice on variety of things, including the design and the delivery of the program. Today, we have the head of the center, Mr. Chandrasekhar, and I would request him to speak to you about the role of the center, as well as how it impinges on the delivery and the design of the one-year MBA program in global supply chain management. So over to you, Mr. Chandrasekhar.
Thank you, Rajesh, and good evening to all. Welcome to this webinar. The Center for Supply Chain Management was established in 2019 with the primary responsibility of enhancing industry participation in the program. Right? Now, the core belief at IIMU is that whatever we teach in the various programs which are run by the institute must be practical in its orientation, and our students must be able to deliver that when they go and join their respective organizations. And we thought the best way of doing that is to get industry involved in various elements of all activities of the center, be it the one-year MBA program, which we are talking about today, be it in practice-oriented research we want to take up, be it in publishing cases of, supply chain cases which are India-centric, which could then flow back into the curriculum. So there are many ways in which industry is involved in the various activities of the institute, and these are essentially driven by the Center for Supply Chain Management. Now, as students who are applying for this program, your interest should primarily be in how industry is involved in the program itself, right? So can we go to the next slide? Right. First thing we decided that when we set up the center is to have an advisory board, which will consist of very eminent people from the supply chain space, from industry. We depend on this board to guide us in the various activities, including the supply chain program. So if you look at the names, we have some very, very eminent professionals from very big organizations, be it Neeraj Ambani from Reliance, Rizwan from DP World, Usha Sri from Manhattan Associates, Sahil Barua, who runs one of the largest logistics companies in the country, Delivery, Accenture, a major consulting firm in supply chain space, and Mr. Binny Matthews. I'm very sorry. Subsequently, he's now a part of the Accenture. Just recently, about a week back, he has shifted from Infosys. But in Infosys, he was heading the global procurement division. Now he's going to be handling a similar work in Accenture for its procurement globally. And Mr. Ramesh Ramakrishnan, who is the chairman of Transworld Group, one of the biggest shipping companies in the world, which is based out of Dubai. So how do we, in what way do we interact with these advisory board members? One thing, even so far as the curriculum is concerned, we go back to them periodically, right? We pride ourselves on being very nimble with regard to the content of the curriculum. We always want to be sure that whatever we are teaching is contemporary and is of interest to industry. So we do lean on the members of the advisory board to tell us periodically what they feel should be taught as a part of the supply chain program. We also take feedback from potential recruiters about what our curriculum content should be. And just to give a few examples, Professor Rajesh was talking about the digital element being a very prominent part of the supply chain program. Only a couple of years ago, these technology-oriented subjects were electives. But now we have realized that supply chain professionals need to be comfortable with technology when they go out and work in their organizations. So what were electives just a couple of years ago are now core supply chain subjects, be it artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, your analytics. All these industry expects our students to be comfortable with when they come and join them, right? Another example I can give you, sustainable supply chains are a buzzword now. And we have started by incorporating elements of sustainability in all the supply chain program courses which we offer as a part of this program. Very soon, we will be offering full-fledged electives in the space of sustainability. So our students, whoever is interested in pursuing a career in sustainable supply chains, gets the necessary inputs before going out of the institute. So this is one way in which our advisory board and other partners in industry help us. Another area, a very key area, is the supply chain project. Again, we depend on our industry partners to offer us interesting projects through which our students will be able to apply whatever has been learned in the classroom to real life supply chain situations. This year, I'm happy to say that we've got some very, very interesting projects. Few years back, most of these projects are very, very operation oriented. Now we find a lot of technology based projects coming to us. So that evolution is happening in the supply chain space. And we want our students to get a flavor of this through the live projects they work on. Placement is a key element of our program. And we again depend on our industry members not only to participate in the placement process, but also add diversity to the type of roles which are being offered to our students. I'm very happy to say again, in the last 4 or 5 years, there are a lot of new roles which have opened up for our supply chain professionals. And I'm sure that in the coming years, this will only increase. Can we go to the next slide? So yeah, so this is what I've already discussed, where we have an alliance with industry in various facets of our academia. Next slide, please. Yeah. Now, some of the industries where our alumni are working are listed here. This is not comprehensive in any way. You can go to our website and get a greater all details about which are the companies which have recruited from our program, what are the roles which are offered, what is the salary which is being offered to these students. But this is just to give you a flavor of what is the diversity in terms of the type of organizations who recruit from our programs. You'll find that there are typically consulting companies, manufacturing companies, logistic companies, right? Product management companies. So there's a great variety, and this is only going to increase as we go along. And supply chain, especially since COVID, supply chain has become a very, very key faculty in industry, and the type of roles will only go up as we go along. Yeah, next. These are the typical roles that are offered in strategy, operations, product management, supply chain management. So again, very broad, but this will give you, now you can add analytics to this. A lot of analytics roles are opening up for our supply chain professionals. So it's very, very diverse and interesting. What is on offer for our students. Next, Mallika. Yeah. Now, before we go to this part, I just want to tell you another key element of the program, which is happening as we speak. We have partnered with the industry member, O9 Solutions, and we have established a supply chain lab on the campus, right? This is to give the students a flavor of working on technology, getting their hands dirty. The supply chain lab will give access to supply chain applications which are used by many companies, and the students will be able to work on these through the lab. The physical infrastructure is ready. We're just now in the final stages of installing all the hardware and the software. I am hopeful still that the current batch also will have about a month to work on this before they leave, but definitely the next year's batch from day one will be able to work in this lab. And it's one of a kind lab. There are no such supply chain oriented labs in any management schools. So this is again in partnership with the industry, and very, very, very excited about what opportunities this lab offers to our students. Now, Professor Rajesh said that we want this, you will of course be professionals in the field of supply chain, but that's not the only objective of this program. We want it to be transformational in many ways for the candidates who participate, right? This is going to be the last, possibly the last time all of you will take part in a formal program where you sit in a classroom and learn something. So we want this to be a game changer for you in many, many ways. And the best way we thought is for somebody who's undergoing the program to explain to you what the program has done for her. So hand this over to Mallika, who will be able to give you greater details. Yes, Mallika, please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. So I will start with how it has been a transformational journey for me. So starting with the academics itself, like previously already told by Professor, how it's the perfect amalgamation of both the core management subjects and the supply chain subjects. So you get to know both sides. And more than that, which I feel is it's written over there also, the simulation based learning. It really helps students who are not from core supply chain background. So because we have students from both working already in supply chain and non-engineers as well. So how the course is structured, that really helps you in getting to know the subjects better. Apart from that, also the L&D team, we have this L&D team which helps us in the placement preparation process as well. So we have tie-ups with industry people who helps us in conducting mock interviews, who helps us in our resume preparation. So it's a very we get a lot of support from industry, and it's very helpful for us as the candidate. Apart from that, also the life projects which were already discussed. So I'm also currently with working with one of a great company, and we get to know how do we have to deal and what would be the problems we'll get there. And we also have our professors assisting us in the projects, which also really help us to fall back when we are in doubt. We can always go back to them, and they always support us. But it's really helpful for us, is what I would say. Apart from that, the last thing I would say is the placements also, you don't just get one roles, you have a variety of roles. This time, even some people with finance background wanted to go, so we have roles regarding that also. Consulting roles are there. So the opportunities are increasing. We have the freedom of selecting where we want to go, and fortunately, the opportunities are also coming. So I think it really helps us. And from what I was before my MBA and what I am after my MBA is completely a different person, because now we get to understand how the things are working in the industry. Previously, we were just working what we were given, but now we know how it's working, and we are able to make those management decisions. So I think it has really been a very good journey. So I'll hand over the stage back to Professor Chandrasekhar.
Thank you, Mallika. Thank you. Can we go to the next one? Just to add on to what Mallika was saying, we have an L&D team which works very closely with the students of the supply chain management program. They help you in understanding what your short-term, medium-term, long-term aspirations they are, and how you should evolve as a person so you're able to achieve whatever objectives you have set for yourself. So our L&D initiatives which are outside the courses which we had listed in the earlier slides, but they engage very closely with all the students. All
We are not able
alumni who are now working in the supply chain space. So there's a lot of things which will help you transform as an individual by the time the program comes to an end. So this is the placement data for the earlier batch, the last year's batch, 22-23. 100% of the batch was placed, I think, by January of the following, just before the program ended, January of that year. The compensation was around 20.7 lakhs. This is the average compensation that is available to our students. Some of the companies who recruited are there in the left side. You'll find some very big names here, some very interesting companies, interesting roles, who have all, we find that once a company starts coming for our placement process, they normally continue. So every year we not only have the same companies coming, but we add on also new companies so that our students are having a greater variety to choose from. Yes, Mallika, next. In this year, 2/3 of the batch is placed. We are hopeful that by end of this month or mid-March, the others also will be placed. So all will be placed before the program comes to an end in March of this year. Again, some of the companies which came. Live projects, I said, are a very key element of the program. Some of the companies which are offering us projects are listed here. This is again not comprehensive, just an indication of the variety which is available. This includes typical logistics projects given by a company like Delivery, typical inventory project management, which is given by a company called Oro Labs, technology projects given by Tech Mahindra and Infosys. O9 Solutions is given a project to work on IT-enabled supply chain solutions. TAGSATS has given us a project relating to sustainable procurement practices. So it's a great variety of projects that are available, and which will be one of the key elements which will be, all the maximum value, I think, will be derived from this element of the program. Yeah, next. Now, I hand it back to Professor Rajesh, who will tell you that, okay, why should you be considering this program? Yes, Rajesh.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So, I would like to say this, that we believe, as we discussed in the last 20, 30 minutes, is that global supply chain management is a unique program because the way it combines the general management as well as the supply chain domain. Those of you who successfully complete the program get the MBA degree. It's a heavily industry-oriented program, both in its design as well as in its delivery, right? We get the advisory from the advisory board coming from industry captains. The lots of courses in the program are offered by industry practitioners, and IIM Udaipur is a premier institution, as we talked a while ago. Now, if MBA is something that excites you, and if global supply chain as a domain, as an area excites you, then perhaps this is, I would say, that one of the best program or the best program in the country for you to consider. And what's most important is for you to think through whether the goals of this program align well with your personal goal. And if it does, then the most important thing is to go ahead and apply. Next slide, please. We will answer as many questions as we can during this webinar, but please take a screenshot of this. If you have any questions remaining after this webinar is over, you're very welcome to contact us at the numbers that are flashing during the work hours, or at the email ID that you see here. You can very welcome to write to us at this. And so now I would request Mallika to take us through the question and answer sessions. If you have any questions, please key them in the Q&A section, and we will try our best to take as many questions as possible. Over to you, Mallika.
Thank you, sir. I'll stop sharing.
Yes.
Okay. So yes, I'll take up the first question. It's from anonymous attendee. Hi team, I have two doubts. One, if an individual applied in earlier round but wasn't shortlisted for interview, would it be recommended for them to apply in the current round, maintaining the same test score but enhancing the video profile and job description in the application? And second is, okay, so can you answer first?
So thank you, Mallika. I'll take up this question. So like if you are not shortlisted for in the last cycle, but if you are applying with the same test score, so I recommend that you can apply with the upgraded score that can help you with the next round. And
Right.
regarding the video profile, the video profile is all about your self introduction, where you have to where you can explain about yourself, your education background, your work experience, why you want to join this program. So it is all about yourself.
So I would say this, that, if you were not successful in this particular year, so then the best way forward is to improve your score and then apply with the better score in the next academic year. That would be the best way forward.
Thank you, sir. Next question is from Ujjwal Jha. What unique skill sets are you looking for in the candidate for the program?
Let me take this. So thanks for asking this question, Ujjwal. So all we are looking for is that you are a curious and interested candidate, that you are really genuinely interested in the pursuing education in MBA, as well as the domain of global supply chain management excites you. That's all we are looking at. We are actually agnostic to your academic background. We are not saying you have to be an engineer, or you have to be a mathematician, or you have to be a commerce graduate. It doesn't matter from which academic background you come, but you have to be excited about the prospect of doing an MBA as well as the field of global supply chain management. That's all that matters.
Thank you, sir. The next question is, how about the access of library resources and research material from other management institutions like HPS?
All right, so let me take this. We have a very comprehensive, huge library within the institute. That's the first thing. We invest several crores of rupees every year to subscribe to the journals published by not only Harvard Business School, but all the leading publishers throughout the world. In fact, if you're selected in this program, you shall be, have the opportunity to get the HBS material online that you have to brush up your quantitative skills, brush up your language skills, and then come to the program. During the program, lots of material that is being taught. Actually, I would say 90% of them comes from the Harvard Business School. Some of them come from Indian context. So you will have all the access that is required to deliver the program, not only from Harvard Business School, but any other leading management school throughout the world.
Thank you, sir. The next question is, hello admission teams. With over 5 years of international work experience in operations and supply chain management, along with proficiency in tools like SAP, is it recommended to apply despite a very low GMAT score? If yes, what measures can be taken to enhance the chances of being shortlisted for interview?
Well, let me take this. We don't know what exactly your GMAT score is, and so we can't answer. And we certainly, as I said a while ago, we do not have any specific cutoff in mind. So I would say, it's very difficult to answer your question. The best way would be for you to perhaps apply and then figure out what happens next, because it doesn't take a lot of time to apply in any case.
Thank you, sir. Next question from Ravi Kumar is it AICTE approved, recognized?
Okay. Yeah, let me take this. So AICTE approval is important for those institutions which are, not yet universities or private business schools or things of that kind. You'd be aware that Indian Institutes of Management are set up throughout the country under the Act of Parliament. So these are very much government institutions, right? So they do not require any more approval from anybody else. So IIMs, all IIMs in the country are set up under the Act of Parliament, and that's where there is no need for an AICTE approval.
So next question is, as we all know that all IIMs are facing a tough situation in placing their students, how is IIMU coping with this? Also, how could you please tell situation of job market this year?
Okay, so let me take this, and I will request Mr. Chandrasekhar to add anything if you would like to.
Yeah.
So job cycles, placements in a particular year is all a matter of economic cycle, right? In a particular year, it may be a little bit tough. In the other year, it may be a little bit easy. But I can tell you one thing, GSCM program by IIM Udaipur has been running from 2013, as you saw a while ago. And in all these years, we never had a problem in placing our students. In all these years, we always had 100% placement, including this year where the placement situation is somewhat tough. It is taking a little bit longer, but we are very confident that over the next few weeks, all the students who are in the program will be placed.
Just to add to that specific, how are we coping with this? Yes, there are challenges. Let us not run away from that.
Yeah.
This year, there are challenges which are being faced by all the IIMs. So we are, looking at the relationship we have with the industry that we have. Our wide alum network is helping us in generating job opportunities for our students. The projects which our students are working on, when they do a good job, this company is, enthused to come and recruit from the batch. So the various ways by which we hope to interest industry, right? And we are doing everything possible in all these aspects so that our students get placed before they leave the campus. And like Professor Rajesh said, it may go to next month, but we are fairly confident that all the students will be placed before they leave the program.
Thank you, sir. Next question is, are 100% placements guaranteed to students?
Nothing in life comes with a guarantee, right? We will support in whatever way possible so that students are placed in not only organizations that they aspire for, but also the roles. But a lot of the onus is on the students to ensure that they do whatever is necessary to interest organization in their candidature, right? So there are the support is there in all ways possible from the institute. We have a full-fledged placement office which works with the student placement committee. The center assists in placement wherever we have contacts with industry. Our advisory board is very, very supportive in placements. So there are, but Nothing comes with I cannot say that it is guaranteed. Ultimately, some students may feel that whatever is being on offer does not interest them. So a lot of things are not in the control of the institute. So 100% placement is not guaranteed, though it has happened till now.
Thank you, sir. Next question is, I have 14 years experience in manufacturing engineering background. I want to learn management concepts and seek placement from institute. Do institute will give me admission, sabbatical scope not available in my company?
You want to take that, Rajesh, or?
Yeah, let me take this. So, that if you do not have a sabbatical opportunity from your company, and if you want to join the program, you will not be eligible for the placement. The reason is that, the companies that would typically come to us are looking for students who are in the experience bracket of, I would say, 3 to 9 years. At the moment it hits 10, they are not interested in hiring because they do the lateral hiring directly from their own sources and not through the campus hiring. So in that sense, it will not be possible for you to get a placement from the campus. But you are certainly eligible to apply. But as I said, about the placement front, it will be a challenge.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Next question from Ayush Sharma is, what's a good average GMAT score? A ballpark number would be helpful.
Ayush, I would say this again, that, if you have a valid score and if you're excited about the content and the prospect of this program, go ahead and apply. That's the best way forward rather than guessing and overthinking about, what's the score that is required.
Thank you, sir. Next question from Dhruv is, can you please elaborate more on the median placements and the data for top 25 and 50 percentile?
Let me take this.
Yeah.
So, Dhruv, as far as the last year's data is concerned, the average salary was very close to the median salary. But I would say this, that on our website, we have a very detailed audited placement report for each of the preceding year. And I would strongly encourage you to go and visit that section of the placement at IIM Udaipur website. So for the GSCM program, right from 2013 up until 2023, you have the placement report. It will not only tell you about the average salary, median salary, but also areas, companies, sectors, everything that you would look for, right? So that will give you a much better picture.
Thank you, sir. Next question is, do we need to have relevant work experience in the same industry or any experience works?
Chandrasekhar will take that.
Yeah. No, it is not necessary for you to have experience in the supply chain domain. We need 3 years of experience post your graduation in any area. But what we look for is passion and interest in the supply chain domain. If you're able to establish that during the personal interview, then your candidature could be considered. But work experience in the supply chain domain is not a requirement.
Thank you, sir.
Mukul says good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, Mukul says good evening, sir. Next question is, I have a background in humanities and work experience of 5 years as a teacher, but supply chain as a domain excites me and I seek to start a venture soon in it. Should I go for 1 year or 2 year program?
If you, as you say, if you're interested in supply chain as a domain and you want to start a venture soon, then, when you've already had 5 years of experience, then possibly this 1 year program would make more sense than the 2 year program. That would be my personal belief.
Thank you, sir. Next question is from Saket. I have applied for 4th cycle. Kindly let me know the exact date of shortlisting.
So, Saket, I would like to inform that the date of shortlisting announcement is 31st of January, and you will get the outcome of application on and before 31st January.
Thank you, ma'am. Next question from Ravi is, do you have any age restrictions?
Let me take this. We do not have any age restriction at all in our application process, but the average age of the group current cohort is approximately, I would say, 27 years. So, that's the average, but certainly there is no age restriction that we have in place.
So next question is there any differentiation when it comes to companies who prefer 2-year MBA grads over 1-year GSCM from the same institute?
Yeah, let me say that.
Sorry, go ahead.
Companies look for different aspects when they hire from the 1-year program vis-a-vis the 2-year program. So 1-year program, like this batch and previous batches, there has been the cohorts have an average experience of 5 years. So when a company comes to recruit a person with 5 years experience and a supply chain degree, they will look at it differently than if they're hiring a fresher from the 2-year program. So to that extent, the differentiation will be there in the type of roles that are offered, the designation that is offered, the salary that is offered. But having said that, there are some roles for which both could compete, right? The 2-year program and the 1-year program. But companies essentially look at them differently. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Next question from Mukul is, do full-time internship count in work experience?
I'll take this. So Mukul, if you are working in a company as on a designation of an intern or a graduate trainee, and you are working as a full-time employee of the company, having a valid pay slips, having a valid offer letter, then this internship will be counted as a full-time work experience.
So just to reiterate, what we are looking for is a pay slip. Were you paid during this full-time internship? If you have the payment slip, please attach that. Without the pay slip, we will not be able to consider it.
Thank you, sir. Next question is operations part of the curriculum? If yes, wouldn't it be better in operations and supply chain management?
Mallika, you froze for a while, so can you reread that question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, sure. So the next question is operations part of the curriculum? If yes, wouldn't it be a better to market the course as MBA in operations and supply chain management?
Operations is a part of the program. There is a full-fledged course in operations management in the first term, and operational aspects are there in the other courses also, like logistics, sourcing, strategic sourcing, even in digital supply chain. So operations is one element of the supply chain management. So we are talking about a lot of things as a part of the program. So it does not make sense to offer it as a course in operations of supply chain management. There are so many elements. If sustainability is going to be a part of that program, if technology is going to be a part of the program, then that will not get highlighted if I say operations and supply chain management. So supply chain management is a broad title which encompasses a lot of these things.
Thank you. So we see that we have come to an end of this webinar. And if you have any remaining questions, you are very welcome to connect with the admissions office. At the end, I would like to say this.
So there are a couple of more questions have popped up.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, so question from Anand is, do admission committee have offered admission in previous years to candidates with 10 plus years who are seeking placement through institute?
Let me answer that. Anand, so as I said, because we find it extremely challenging for us to place students, beyond 10 years of experience. This is based on what the pattern of the industry who is coming to the campus for recruitment. As an academic institution, we don't have any age issue. Anybody can come and study at any point in time and with any age background. But with respect to seeking placement to the institute, it's hard.
Thank you, sir. Next question is again from Saket. Respected authority, interview will be conducted on or before 31st Jan. For the cycle 4, as you said, the result will be published on 31st Jan.
Okay, I'll take this. So Saikat, the process is ongoing right now. The process is under process. So yes, you will get the interview will be conducted before 31st of January, and you'll get the outcome of application on and before 31st of January.
All right. So thank you very much. Wish you all the best. And as I said, if you think this program aligns with your career goals, you're very welcome to apply in this program. And all the best. Oh, there is one more question coming in from the candidate. Okay.
Yes, sir. I
Yeah.
have 3 years of experience, but I do not have the pay slips from company prior to my recent company. Will that be creating any issue in the admission process?
So Mukul, if you're having only 3 years of experience and you don't have that pay slips with you, then that experience will not be counted. But if you're having other experience also, which is more than of 3 years or more, and you have the valid pay slips, you can apply for the program.
Okay. But Tanu, if he has a certificate of experience, will that work? But
No, the experience certificate is required.
yeah.
Means I understand that you having 3 years of experience. For that, you don't have a pay slip. So for the other experience, if you have a valid experience letter and it's having 3 years of experience, you can apply for the program.
So he's confirming that he has the experience letter.
Mukund has the letter of experience from the company,
Yeah.
but does not have
The payslip.
So let me tell you one thing, Mukund, that even if you're offered, the companies at the time of placement will insist on payslip, and you will have a hard time getting any job. So you must produce the salary slips or Form 16 or any of the support at that time. So, but any more questions on the nuance of it, please write to the admissions office, and they should be able to guide you. Okay, all right. Thank you very much. So we close this webinar and wish you all the best. Good evening. Bye for now. And I thank my co-panelists a lot for their presence today in this evening.
Thank you. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.